hands up, swipe for the ball with our right hand while poking the player in the eye with the left hand.
The eyeball. We're poking eyeballs out again. Is that what we're doing? We're eye gouging again.
Here she goes again. Hide your face, hide your neck, duck your head, wear an NFL football helmet when you are playing in a game versus DiJonai Carrington. Fresh off of clotheslining, a Kane and Undertaker clothesline from hell that she delivered to Sophie Cunningham. This girl is right back on the court, hitting people upside the head.
There's a point in sports when repeated incidents start looking less like bad luck and more like a troubling pattern. That's exactly what happened with DiJonai Carrington. Just 4 days after her flagrant 2 ejection against Sophie Cunningham, Carrington was back on the court against the Golden State Valkyries, where 2 more controversial moments quickly grabbed attention. In one play, her hand made contact with Cecilia Zandalasini's eye, while another incident saw Tiffany Hayes take contact across the mouth. 2 different opponents, 2 separate plays, but the same game, and once again, Carrington was at the center of the controversy. This time, fans weren't simply asking whether it was accidental. They were starting to question whether something more was going on.
I tried to tell ya, I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. DiJonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week, in just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke, Mrs. Flagrant Foul, must grab your head, I'ma hit your head, upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'ma pull your hair. Mrs. I'ma whack you on the back of your head. Mrs. Long nailed, sharp knobbed fingertips. DiJonai Carrington strikes again.
On the first play, Carrington was defending Cecilia Zandalasini on the perimeter. Her right hand appeared to be reaching for the ball, but her left arm moved upward and across, making contact directly with Zandalasini's eye while both players were competing for position. Later in the same game, Tiffany Hayes attacked the basket, and Carrington jumped alongside her. Instead of making a clear play on the ball, Carrington's arm came down and caught Hayes across the mouth. Neither incident resulted in a flagrant foul or a technical. Carrington did, however, receive a technical earlier in the third quarter after arguing with an official, adding even more tension to an already heated night.
And then she put both hands up right after. But that's DiJonai's.
Yeah, I gouged another white girl. Yeah, I gouged another white girl while wearing your Sophie Cunningham wig. I am officially. Hey, this ain't Clerks 2, but I'm taking back Sophie Cunningham's hair. I'm taking it back. You got Sophie Cunningham's hair on while you're poking the white girls in the eyeballs.
Now the situation becomes much more serious, because Carrington is not a rookie still adjusting to the physicality of the league. She's a veteran who has played for multiple teams and already has a notable history of controversial contact. That includes the 2024 playoff incident involving Caitlin Clark, when Carrington made contact with Clark's eye. At the time, Clark said she didn't believe it was intentional, and Carrington also rejected the idea that she would deliberately target someone's eye. Many people accepted that explanation and moved on. One incident can be dismissed as an accident, and a second might still be seen as a coincidence. But when similar contact keeps happening around the face, especially during physical plays, fans naturally begin asking whether there is a bigger pattern developing.
They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player, she makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of DiJonai Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails, she's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same swat and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second, when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty plays, and it's fine. The NBA, you can be.
It's important to recognize just how talented DiJonai Carrington is, because that's what makes this entire situation even more frustrating for people who genuinely respect her as a player. She has established herself as a strong defensive presence, with the athleticism, length, instincts, and anticipation needed to guard multiple positions. Her defensive production has also earned her serious recognition around the league, including being a finalist for Most Improved Player. There's a reason teams continue to value her and give her major minutes. Nobody is seriously questioning whether Carrington belongs in the WNBA or whether she can make a major impact on the court. The concern is about where the line should be drawn when physical play repeatedly results in contact with other players' faces. Talent can explain why a player is valuable, but it cannot automatically excuse every controversial incident. And that's why the conversation around Carrington has changed so dramatically. Instead of focusing primarily on her defense, athleticism, and overall game, fans are now spending more time discussing her decisions during physical plays and whether the repeated incidents deserve greater scrutiny.
I have a photo from the flagrant 2 on DiJonai Carrington against Sophie Cunningham, where she proceeded to go into the locker room and tweet white privilege after being thrown out of the game. I'm not going to comment on that situation, but I will say this. This is a flagrant 2. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, don't matter. This is a flagrant. I mean, she clotheslined her. What more do you want? So this looks very bad. It just shows that the WNBA is nowhere near where they need to be professionally, because again, this is a clothesline. It's a flagrant 2.
And to understand why the latest incidents created so much reaction, we have to go back just 4 days earlier, when Carrington was involved in one of the most discussed fouls of the season. Sophie Cunningham was attacking the basket on a fast break and had already released a shot that was heading toward the rim when Carrington came from behind. Her arm swung across Cunningham's head and neck area, sending her crashing hard to the floor. The officials initially ruled it a flagrant 1, but after reviewing the play, they upgraded the foul to a flagrant 2 and ejected Carrington from the game. The review focused on factors such as the wind-up, the level of contact, and the follow-through, making the incident far more serious than an ordinary defensive foul. That decision immediately sparked debate across the league, and just 4 days later, Carrington was at the center of another series of controversial plays.
Posted white privilege after getting tossed from the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, I mean, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet, maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any idea what she's talking about. Bizarre.
What happened immediately afterward only made the situation even more heated. After getting back to her feet, Sophie Cunningham confronted Carrington, and players from both teams had to step in before the situation could escalate further. The moment quickly became another major talking point because fans wanted to know why Cunningham wasn't assessed a technical foul for confronting her opponent. When reporters asked the officials about it, the explanation was that Cunningham's reaction was understandable given the severity of the contact she had just taken. That response added another layer to the controversy because it suggested the officials viewed Cunningham's reaction in the context of what had happened moments earlier. Instead of treating both actions as equal, they considered the initial foul serious enough to explain the emotional response that followed.
5 when it comes to DiJonai Carrington. Here she is on the floor being dirty once again. The girl cannot help herself at this point. She can't help it. Take a look at this. Okay, you swing at the ball, but then you hit her all in the face with your other hand, and then you put your hands up like you didn't do nothing. You hitting her all in the face. Look at this. Watch her left hand. The right hand right here went to the ball. Watch this left hand. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? When is enough with this chick? Come on. You hitting people in the face. It's over and over and over. How many times do we have to
Now look at the timeline. because this is where the situation becomes much harder to dismiss as one isolated incident. Carrington came off the bench and scored 8 points in just 4 minutes before being ejected in the first quarter for a foul that was upgraded to a flagrant 2. Then, only 4 days later, she returned to action and was involved in 2 more plays where opponents took contact around the face in the same game. That sequence naturally made fans question whether this was simply bad luck or part of a larger pattern involving the way she plays defensively. A tweet that has been circulating since the controversy began also highlighted another part of the discussion: Carrington's unusual team history. The post pointed to her moves between organizations and questioned why several teams eventually moved on from her. While some of the details in that tweet may be exaggerated for effect, the broader point can still be examined through her transaction history. Carrington was drafted by Connecticut in 2021, later moved to Dallas in 2024, and subsequently joined Minnesota before eventually landing with Chicago on a 1-year deal. That's several organizations in a relatively short period, and each move has added another chapter to a career that has included both strong performances and plenty of controversy.
You know, DiJonai Carrington damn near decapitated Sophie Cunningham's head. And even though she bloodied Sophie Cunningham's mouth, and even though she got ejected and ran straight to Twitter after being assessed a flagrant 2, and putting white privilege in caps while tagging the Indiana Fever, we the public, we the fans of the WNBA, we the fans of Sophie Cunningham, and we the fans of good basketball, we're just stupid because we inferred that DiJonai Carrington tweeting white privilege, of course, had something to do with the flagrant 2 and the ejection. But DiJonai is coming out to set the record straight, baby. She said that we're stupid, we lack critical thinking skills, and in no way, shape, or form would she ever use the word of white privilege.
When a player changes teams several times, there can be plenty of explanations. Sometimes it's simply about roster changes, coaching decisions, rebuilding, or finding a better fit. But in Carrington's case, the repeated moves have become part of the conversation because teams have repeatedly chosen not to make a long-term commitment. Her latest 1-year contract can be viewed as a sign that the organization values what she brings athletically but still wants to see how everything develops before making a bigger commitment. That doesn't automatically prove anything about her conduct, but it does add context to the discussion surrounding her career. The controversy also became much larger when Carrington's social media comments shifted attention toward race and officiating, creating another major debate around the incident. Now, only days later, she has been involved in 2 more controversial plays in the same game. That puts the league in a difficult position. If the WNBA is serious about limiting dangerous contact and protecting its players, incidents like these become an important test of whether those standards are applied consistently or only receive major attention after fans and social media demand answers.
Y'all look at y'all favorite player.
Went over to one of the officials, as you see Sarah Williams there.
She trying to make it seem like a fan did something crazy to her, right? While I watch.
At the moment.
Look at what y'all looking at. They going to talk to that dude. They've been trying to make him leave, right? She's trying to get somebody kicked out. So he look, he's getting up. He end up leaving, right? He end up leaving. So they got to investigate. They got to investigate. Now look at the 4th quarter. Look at who you see back 10 out there. He's sitting right there. That's him right there. And see, these are the type of games that they play when they in the wrong, right? And it's not a coincidence that this stuff is happening because she's been dirty forever, but has she been getting people kicked out like that or attempting to get people kicked out like that? No. Now all of a sudden, now it's time to start kicking people out. Man, it's
and fans have definitely noticed the growing pattern. This is no longer being discussed as simply one bad game or one unfortunate play. Critics are pointing to multiple incidents involving contact around opponents' faces, and the old eye poker nickname that followed Carrington after the 2024 Caitlin Clark incident has started resurfacing again. The difference this time is that the controversy has continued to grow, with several players involved within a short period. The conversation about accountability also became more complicated after the Sophie Cunningham incident, when Carrington posted about white privilege from the locker room instead of focusing publicly on the foul itself. Whatever her intention was, the post shifted attention away from the central basketball question. Was the contact dangerous, and is there a recurring pattern that deserves more scrutiny? Now, after the incidents against the Valkyries, those two storylines have collided again. The discussion is no longer only about individual fouls. It's about consistency, accountability, and whether Carrington needs to change the way she approaches physical play before another incident happens.
Poked her in the eyes. Bow, went for the ball. I mean, like, where like, there's no, you hit the ball on that one, and right here, like, it's like, all right, I missed the ball, now I gotta smack you. I like, come on, guys. Like, and I know the community is gonna say she went for the ball. Yeah, I mean, I know her head might be shaped like a ball. We all, you know, it's a similarity there. But there's no way DiJonai Carrington continuously gets away with this time after time after time. Like, the compilations, DiJonai, is not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's absolutely not good for you. You're poking people in the eye, flagrant fouling people. Like, what are you doing? You swipe for the ball and then you smack her right in the eyes. Like, this is dirty as dirty.
There's also a fairness issue that shouldn't be overlooked, because this situation isn't only about Carrington's reputation or what it could mean for her career. Every time one of these incidents happens, another player has to deal with the consequences while simply trying to compete. Cecilia Zandalasini had to continue playing after taking contact around the eye, and Tiffany Hayes was struck across the mouth during a live play where the ball wasn't even close to where the contact occurred. Then there was Sophie Cunningham, who went down hard after the controversial foul and had to be separated from Carrington as emotions quickly escalated. These aren't just random moments that disappear once the final buzzer sounds. They involve real players who have to keep competing, practicing, and preparing for the next game after taking significant contact. Carrington's physical style can absolutely be an advantage when it is controlled and within the rules, but when similar incidents continue happening around opponents' faces, it becomes understandable why players, fans, and coaches start demanding more accountability. The question isn't whether Carrington is talented enough to play at this level. She clearly is. The bigger question is whether her aggressive approach can remain effective without repeatedly putting other players in situations where their safety becomes part of the conversation.